A wealthy American dies from being poisoned. His daughter is looking forward to the money. However, while her brother gains $500 million, all she receives is just an underground basement. In the will, her father wants her to keep a terrible secret in that room. What is happening in there? She carefully goes downstairs. It's like a tunnel to the room. She is a little scared, struggling to find the electric switch. When the lights are on, she almost faints because of this thing. It is not a legacy at all. Is this a human or a body or a mystical ritual? Slowly approaching, she sees that thing constantly shaking. She is so terrified that she intends to go out right away. When she is about to call the police, she looks at her brother. She hesitates and then hangs up the phone. Because her brother is running for election. She does not want his future to be destroyed by this trouble. Seeing his sister acting strangely, William comforts her. That he could not use all money, so he will give her a part of it. What? Divide the money. You don't have to. She does not talk much. She comes to her mother to ask whether her father did something wrong or had any enemies. Her mother, Catherine, does not know anything, because her husband was always kind and considerate. How could he do such a cruel thing like that? Is his death related to this basement room? Lauren has to calm herself down. She brings a gun to the basement. While that person does not respond to her, she takes a piece of white paper to collect his fingerprints. It seems like she is no longer scared. When the man wakes up, Lauren wearing a mask is asking his identity. He finally talks, saying that he is also a family member. He also declares Lauren's name, age, job, hobbies and personality. He precisely says everything about her. He seems to know her very well. Lauren is amazed. He laughs again, saying, "Your father must have left me as a legacy for you." This man's laughter makes her have goosebumps. What is the relationship between him and my father? However, he replies, "All your questions, I can answer, but you have to let me go." Let you go? Do you think I am an idiot? He just staring at Lauren without saying anything, then he smiles. Suddenly he begins to sing, "Every day I live in misery. There is no wine and no energy. I am scolded by your father despite doing nothing. I cannot be well dressed. So it's normal for you to be afraid of me. Or we could make a trade. You give me food, I tell you a secret. A piece of butter, beans and a bowl of salad. A bottle of Lafite, a steak but not spicy." He then looks at Lauren. "You are locked in my house, why do you make many requests?" But she thinks the requests are easy. Because she wants to know the secret, Lauren leaves the basement. She sends the fingerprints to a friend for investigation. After that, she brings him everything he needs. He seems to cry when seeing the food. Then, he tells her a creepy secret. He turns out to be a good friend of her father. They always hung out together. That night, her father, Archer, was driving drunk with him. He carelessly hit a person. Morgan offered to report it to the police. However, Archer did not want this problem to ruin his future. Therefore, he put the victim in the trunk and drove to the wood to bury him. Because he did not want his friend to expose the truth, he used a stick to take Morgan down. Then locked him in this room for 30 years. Lauren could not believe what she hears. Before she can say a word, Morgan continues talking. Archer has an adopted child. She did not receive any money because that boy earned a lot of money. What? Is this true? She is angry. If this story is not true, she will not forgive him. She then arrives at the location mentioned by Morgan. Upon opening the door, she is in an embarrassing situation. After she has some conversations, all Morgan said is true. She asks who this boy is. The woman says he is her half-brother. Lauren almost has asthma when hearing that. She comes to meet the family attorney. She questions if her father has any other secrets. The attorney is not surprised, he says nothing. All her father's beautiful images are broken. When she comes back to the basement, Morgan seems satisfied. "You believe that I am a good man, don't you? So could I go?" She gets the chain out of his neck without speaking. Pointing the gun at him, she orders him to take her to the body's location. She must clarify all these things. Morgan is crying and laughing when he gets to the ground. He is breathing the fresh air and constantly saying thank you. After 30 years, he still remembers how to get to this place. There is actually a skeleton under the ground. Lauren's belief crumbles. After that, Morgan is begging Lauren for his freedom. "I told you the truth, please let me go. I swear I will not tell anyone about this." Lauren does not know what to do. She closes the door and gets out. So far, she has not understood why her father wanted her to meet this man, and wanted her to know many secrets. This man is absolutely a threat to her family. Why did he just let him starve to death in there? After consideration, because Lauren has received a good education. She is having a kind and honest soul. She meets the attorney, asking him to set up a fake identity and a flight. Lauren intends to take Morgan abroad for a rest. She makes up for her father's mistakes. Before boarding, Morgan swears to God that he will keep the secret. He will not go back to this hell again. Meanwhile, the document about Morgan's identity is sent to her home. Her mother accidentally opens it. When she arrives home, her mother asks her why she investigates this man who is such a devil. Looking at the crimes done by him, Lauren is so frightened that she rapidly goes to the airport. In fact, the plane did not take off and the attorney was killed. She calls her mother to assure that she is safe. However, when she comes back, her mother disappeared. She also sees a light from the basement room. She takes the gun down there. Her mother is lying on the ground unconscious. The lights are suddenly off, making her not see anything. After waking up, she finds herself tied to an iron chain. Morgan is standing in front of her and telling the truth. That year, he raped Lauren's mother and was discovered by Archer. Archer took him to the wood to teach him a lesson. Nevertheless, he hit a pedestrian on the road. Although the victim was injured, Morgan was so cruel that he broke the man's neck, using the dead body to threaten Archer. However, Archer got control of Morgan. He locked Morgan in this basement and tortured him. After many years of being kept in the room, he stayed alive thanks to the desire for revenge. Moreover, Archer's death is also his plan from a long time ago. When Archer is careless, Morgan poisoned him to death. Lauren is extremely furious, but she cannot do anything. Her mother is also awake now. After a conversation, she is beaten by Morgan. Lauren frantically fights against him. Although his face is injured, he does not harm Lauren. On the contrary, he says something horrible. Such an idiot, I am your biological father. When he finishes the sentence, her mother seizes his gun and shoots him dead. Now her biological father is gone. Because Archer wanted to get revenge, he raised the enemy's daughter and let her inherit this room. He wanted two of them to fight against each other. That was such a cruel plan.